did you know that Rutherford County has grown by 26% over the last 9 years and is projected to grow another 10% over the next 5 years? Our community is growing in diversity and growing rapidly. One of the places we see that most is in our local schools. Rutherford County schools are growing by more than 1,100 students every single year, with new schools opening every year, and this fall, 2 new schools set to open. These numbers don't even include our city schools in Murfreesboro, private schools, and the homeschool families of our community. We are seeing growth in Rutherford County, and these numbers tell a story. They tell a story of incredible growth, but also incredible opportunity and an incredible movement of God that He has so graciously placed us at LifePoint as to be a part of during this season. And so what do? The next generation is flocking to our community. It's filling our homes and it's flooding our local campuses. And so we must act. We must prepare and we must make a plan. And so we have begun plans to renovate Next Gen and other spaces at our Smyrna campus in Middle Tennessee. And so what we've done is we've gathered together 5 individuals that have a history of being a part of the LifePoint family and seeing God work over the years. And we want to introduce you to them to hear a conversation as they share about the great things that God has done.
When Joy and I came, we were seeking after God, but there was so much in our lives that we were not equipped to deal with as we had these 2 young girls. We came in the early 90s, so about 30 years ago. We've been a part of First Baptist LifePoint Church. It was at 102 Ridley Street. The building is still in use today, but we moved in the early 2000s. We didn't build the sanctuary that we have today. Everyone worshiped in what is now the hub.
I grew up in this church, and we focus so much on kids and on students and on the next generation, and that's where my heart is. When I was 6 years old, I became a Christian. I had this picture written in my journal of the old campus, the Smyrna First Baptist campus, of when I became a Christ follower. I don't remember much of it being so young, but I remember when I was 13 years old just feeling such a burden for my sins, and during an invitation just wanting to recommit and refocus on living my life for Christ, and just remembering back to going up front in the hub, and my life hasn't been the same ever since. And so I serve in kids ministry on Sunday mornings, do what I love, which is singing and dancing and glorifying God in that. And I get to play with the kids and lead the kids, and also just in the community being a teacher, because I just love working with kids so much. And I know that I learned that from being here.
13 years ago, we walked through these doors, just moving to Tennessee, not knowing anyone, trying to find that church that fit our family. One of the most important things for me was, what can this church offer my children? So we took them into class, and the first thing after church, we talked about it. Every single child wanted to come back. It was, I want to go back to that church. Is that our new church? And that was just a sound decision from our family at that point, that this was the church home for us.
So I first started coming to First Baptist Smyrna my freshman year, and at that time I think the hub was almost like brand new. But I came to this place because this is where my friends were, and I felt comfortable. And so my freshman year I came to know the Lord, and it was here at this place that happened. And so I grew a lot spiritually in student ministry here, because it was natural for me to share my faith, and knew that was important for me to live out. I invited Justin to LifePoint.
He was point blank honest and said, I want you to go to church with me. I was like, I can respect that. So we went, and it was a short time after that when we went into service one night. I can remember sitting there in the hub, and I just put my head down and I prayed, and God said, I'm right here. What are you waiting on? And that night I accepted Christ, and from that moment forward, I just felt like, God wanted me to serve and taught me how to serve. I can remember getting the calling to lead missions in the hub, and how God wanted me to go to Brazil. And I've been to Brazil 16 times and led a lot of students The other part of my life that I just have so much joy for is coaching and teaching. The football side that I get to do on a daily basis. The main thing that I try to carry into that is just carrying Christ with me to practice. When me and Amber got married, we were like, well, what can we do? You know, God blessed us with a home. If I can't get them to go to church first, I want them to be safe in my home. And, you know, feed them and hang out with them, but ultimately teach them the gospel, teach them who Jesus is. Getting to share those moments and those bonds that all happened because of, you know, a spot where we could feel safe.
And then today, where I invited you because you were my friend, and to see our kids feel comfortable here, to grow here, I had no clue that that would be a reality, you know? I had no clue that our kids would be best friends. I had no clue that Amber would marry you and you both would have ministry in your homes, how that has come full circle. And to see Amber leading worship, it's a testament really to when Christ is the focus and there is a safe place for kids to come. It's so beneficial in just being a catalyst for the gospel to penetrate soft hearts. And for me, being able to look back and see even people like Milt, how we stand upon some of the path and the shoulders of you guys.
Well, and if anyone's standing on our shoulders, it's because there's some folks whose shoulders we stood on. You know, we've mentioned several people, and the church is the people. It's not a building, but we have to have a building. We have to have that safe space, and that's why we talk about this stuff. But at the end of the day, it's about the impact that people have. See, and you never know when you're having that impact what's going to come of it. We felt as if we had no choice but to give because God had done so much in our lives. That's what Life Point, that's what the church gave us more than anything. It equipped us to handle the things that parents need, the things that people need. And that was why we felt compelled to be a part of this, because it had done so much for us.
I don't know, it's just exciting to see these kids' hearts on fire for worshiping our Creator. And so you come in on a Wednesday night, the room is packed out with kids dancing, arms are up and flailing and excited. And so I'm excited about what this growth opportunity is going to mean for the kids that are in kids ministry.
I think it's just a blessing to be a part of, just to see from where we came years ago and how our ministries are just growing, and that this is a necessity. This isn't just a want, it's a necessity for our church as we continue to grow. Just continue to make our church a safer place for our children, for our volunteers, for our families, and that our families can just enjoy worship with God on a Sunday morning, or just come in on a Wednesday night and know it's okay. Their kids are safe. They're learning more about Christ.
One of the lessons, I think, is one of the most important lessons that the Bible teaches us is it's not about us. We've been given so much, and I would give everything that I have to see my kids and grandkids come to know the Lord. And that's what Life Point seeks to do also. Just the future of our children and our grandchildren depends on the church, on what we do. I mean, God's going to do a great work. We know that. We're just blessed to be a part of it.